Have you ever looked at your overflowing trash can and just felt kind of defeated? Well, today we're going to dive into zero waste living. And look, this isn't about some impossible standard of perfection. It's really about making small, conscious choices that, believe it or not, add up to a huge positive impact.
You know, this whole idea really blew up thanks to stories like this one. Bea Johnson and her family famously managed to fit their entire year's worth of trash into one single mason jar. Now, that might sound a little extreme, but it's such a powerful image. It really illustrates the core idea and gets you thinking, right? So, what are we really talking about here? At its heart, zero waste living is just a philosophy. It's a goal to send as little to the landfill as you possibly can by just being a bit more thoughtful. And let's be super clear, the key here is progress, not perfection. This is a journey, and it's one that anyone, absolutely anyone, can start. Okay, so to really get on board with this, we've got to understand the why. So let's pull back the curtain a little and look at the actual scale of our trash problem. Let's make this personal for a second. This number, 4.4 pounds, or about 2 kilograms, that's how much trash the average person creates. Not per week, not per month, every single day. And honestly, a lot of this isn't even our fault. It's just that single-use packaging has become the default for almost everything we buy. And when you zoom out from just one person, that daily habit adds up big time. In the United States alone, we generate over 292 million tons of solid waste every year. I mean, that's a number that's almost impossible to even wrap your head around, and most of it has to go somewhere. So where is that somewhere? Well, usually it's a landfill, and this is where things get really critical. As all our food scraps and other organic waste rot in a landfill, they release methane. And methane is a greenhouse gas that is 80 times more potent, more powerful than carbon dioxide at heating up our planet. So yeah, our trash is directly connected to climate change. Okay, that feels huge, right? So how in the world do we start to tackle it? Well, thankfully, the whole movement is guided by this really simple but powerful framework, the 5 R's. And it's a hierarchy. You start at the top. First, refuse what you don't need in the first place. Just say no to the plastic straw. Then, reduce what you do need. After that, reuse whatever you can, like a water bottle. Then you recycle whatever's left. And finally, for any food scraps, you let them rot, which is just a cool way to say compost. All right, enough with the big picture stuff. Let's get super practical. We're going to look at some incredibly simple swaps you can make, like right now, that have a surprisingly huge impact. Let's kick things off in the kitchen. Just think about how much plastic cling wrap gets used once and then tossed. The swap? These awesome things called beeswax wraps. They're reusable, you can wash them, they're biodegradable, and they work perfectly for covering a bowl or wrapping up a sandwich. Next up, those little single-use plastic baggies. An easy switch here is just getting a good set of glass or silicone containers. Yeah, you buy them once, but they can literally last for years, which saves you money and cuts out a ton of plastic waste. And the kitchen is just full of these easy wins. Buying things like rice, nuts, and pasta from the bulk bins, using your own jars, that eliminates so much packaging. Ditching paper towels for a stack of cloth towels is a total no-brainer. And just taking a few minutes to plan your meals for the week can slash the amount of food you end up wasting. Okay, let's head to the bathroom, which is another major source of plastic waste. Instead of those big plastic shampoo bottles, try a solid shampoo bar. They have zero packaging, they work great, and you would be shocked at how long one of those little bars lasts. Now this one is a real game changer. Think about it. Hundreds of disposable plastic razors end up in landfills every year from just one person. A stainless steel safety razor is a one-time purchase that lasts a lifetime. You only have to replace the small metal blade, which is fully recyclable. And there are so many other easy swaps in here. You can get toothpaste tablets that come in a little glass jar instead of a plastic tube. Washable cloth rounds instead of disposable cotton pads for makeup. And honestly, just going back to a classic bar of soap gets rid of all those plastic liquid soap pumps. Now, if you're looking for the one single habit that delivers the biggest punch in reducing your waste, this is it. Let's talk about composting. Literally turning your food scraps into black gold for the soil. So why is composting so powerful? Well, first, you're keeping all that organic waste out of the landfill entirely. Second, that means you're preventing all that harmful methane gas from ever being created. And third, you create an incredible, nutrient-rich fertilizer for your plants or your garden, absolutely free. I know it can seem complicated, but I promise it's really not. Your fruit and veggie scraps, coffee grounds, eggshells, even torn up cardboard, Yep, throw them in. But things like meat, dairy, and really oily foods, keep those out since they can attract pests. It really is that simple to get started. Okay, so we've got the why and the how. But let's be real, it's not always a walk in the park. So let's tackle some of the most common challenges people face when they start this journey.
This is probably the number one question people have. All these reusable things must cost a fortune, right?
Well, actually, it's usually the opposite. While some items might have a small upfront cost, they save you so much money over time because you're not constantly rebuying disposable stuff. Plus, buying your food from bulk bins is almost always cheaper than buying the prepackaged versions. The second big hurdle is just that feeling of being completely overwhelmed. You look at all the plastic in your house, and it can feel like an impossible mountain to climb. And here's the solution. Don't try to do everything at once. Just pick one thing. Seriously. This week, maybe your only goal is to start using reusable produce bags at the grocery store. That's it. Master that one habit, and then you can add another one next month. Progress, not perfection. And that really brings us to the most important takeaway from all of this. The point of zero waste isn't about fitting a year's trash in a jar. Nobody is perfect. The true goal is to simply become more mindful of our choices and the quiet impact they have. So as we close out, I'll leave you with this question to think about. After everything we've talked about today, what's the one small change you'll make this week?